Leo, you're stepping into a week where you're feeling overly serious. And so when you're feeling somewhat, if not fully uptight in the moment, Spirit's advising you, encouraging you to shake it off. You know, get out of your head in the moment. Stop focusing on what's leaving you in an irritable or annoyed state. Just make sure that you're staying in control, okay? And I feel like it's a week with the King of Earth being your main energy to begin, where you are being viewed in a very advanced light, okay? And you're feeling more advanced, which is super important. But you can see the image, this older gentleman within the King of Earth card. And so it's reiterating what we were saying in the beginning, being overly serious, needing to shake it off. But you're communicating via your energy. Let me reword that. Your energy throughout this week is communicating the message of, I'm over it. I am simply over it. And I don't feel like you are over it 24/7. You know, it comes and it goes. But it even feels like bits and pieces of the end points of the previous week are playing into this energy, where things poked your buttons, things maybe annoyed you, you were feeling a bit irritable. And so we're at risk of that energy seeping in or kind of coming to be at certain points throughout the week. So take a deep breath. But I feel like you're going to want to at times get more done than you can due to background noise, due to the energy in that situation at that time. It could be even your energy playing into it. But there's just a feeling of you needing to flow with what you can accomplish and just let go of the rest, okay? When it's meant to get done, it's gonna get done, my friend, and you can't force it if it's not meant to. But let's move on to the rest of the reading using the Gilded Tarot. On the right-hand side, another King of Pentacles. So it just feels like there's multiple levels to the advanced nature that you are carrying, and you're feeling, okay, it might feel enhanced at certain points, but it's more so that it's growing gradually over time. And so when it ends up being a week where you're not fully satisfied or satisfied at all with your current day reality, or maybe it's more so one or two areas specifically, regardless, they're saying there's this positivity on the board, there's this advanced nature about you and how you do what you do that is just leaving you with epic results. And I want to say as well, you're quite inspirational throughout the week to others. And there's something very important about that for you and maybe your mood, but when it comes to you feeling important. So I also feel like it's a week where Spirit's pointing out specific words to you, like special, star. Okay, that's two words, but I heard hard work. But it's more so words like, again, special, star. I'm hearing smart. Words like happy. And so they're hinting you towards what you need to be feeling, creating more than ever. And so it also feels like a week where Spirit's coming through with several key reminders. Like you're awesome, you're again special, and so saying it multiple times, I feel like there's just this rarity about you. There's this special, I'm hearing can I even say it, je ne sais quoi, or however the frick you say it. There's just a specialty about you, Leo. And so naturally, we had mentioned star being one of the words that Spirit will show you. And so it ends up being a week, my friends, where you're being pushed to recognize and feel more than ever that you're becoming the star that you're meant to in this lifetime. You are feeling more star-like, but then also feeling like that's coming with certain burdens that you didn't expect or didn't want. And so it doesn't mean you're becoming famous, right? Maybe some of you are, but the majority of you are becoming more of the star that you're meant to in other ways. And that's creating other levels of success that doesn't involve public recognition or public fame. But for some of you, there's public recognition, but you're not meant to be famous. But the point being is, in your own individual way or ways, you are becoming the star that you're meant to. But you could just probably feel and see the way I was picking up that crunchy leaf that was truly in the way of the card. I was a little bit annoyed by it. It's just your energy, the way you're feeling at certain points. I don't know why I'm getting specifically the letter M may hold significance for you, but okay, I just heard more. you're wanting to do more, more, and more. You're wanting to gain more. It just feels like Spirit's saying it's not all about excess or constantly receiving, achieving, and whatnot. It's about bettering your energy so that when you do actually do more or end up receiving more, you do with it better than you would have otherwise. And so it's a week where I feel, Leo, we're each being reminded it's less is more. All right, less is more. And I feel like at times recently you've been a bit of a chatterbox. Spirit may have something to do with that, right? But I do sense that at times it was too much, whether you were oversharing, just over speaking when you weren't picking up on one, if not multiple people not wanting to hear it in the moment, or just maybe not being in the mood. But it just feels like they're saying either way, okay, you'll be biting your tongue and being less chatty with people throughout the week. But there's a feeling of, okay, when you do speak, there's more value to it. There's less just chitter chatter, less nonsense maybe. And so there's significance when it comes to that. As the stars do align for you, it feels like things are going to be pointed out quite often as imperfect or not so ideal, or not as good as it could be. And so they're saying, well, of course, naturally, everything holds imperfection, and you know that what you have at hand, where you're at, is purely a stepping stone along the way towards so much more. So keep that perspective. Remind yourself of this throughout the week. Don't feel like it has to be perfect, because you're going to stress yourself out and you're going to feel more and more out of alignment with when it comes to what you're actually in alignment with at this time. It's just that you're wanting more, better, more ideal moving forward. And guess what? There are many amazing new beginnings and rewarding changes in the future for you. I'm hearing upgrades, but it's just not the time yet, and you're going to need to embrace where you're at currently to the best of your ability. You've been in a spot previously multiple times along your path where things were a hell of a lot worse, correct? We may remind you of this throughout the week, but it's your perspective, it's your viewpoint, it's what you are expecting and focusing upon that needs adjusting at certain points. This is a very real read, Leo. But as I get myself a bit more comfortable, there's something about that for you as well, where it's, again, a week where things are not ideal or perfect when it comes to what you're seeing, experiencing, committed to at this time. But there's such importance for you to make yourself more comfortable in specific moments, where I was just sitting comfortably before, but then my legs started to get a bit stiff, and eventually they would start falling asleep like they typically do. So I just adjusted the way I was sitting. Regardless of how it comes into play for you, even if it's not, say, a moment when you're sitting, if you feel a sense of discomfort, make a change, make an adjustment. This is communicating something larger for you, moving forward, where it's not about guaranteeing something moving forward. It's about noticing when something makes you uncomfortable, creating that discomfort in your energy field and making a change. I'm being shown the 8 of Cups. And so they're saying when you are in this discomfort at certain points, just do something about it, don't just sit in it. And so I feel like maybe you're being pushed to manifest something sooner because you want it sooner, right? But it doesn't mean that it's happening right off the bat after this week or so. The 6 of Swords, because it feels like Spirit is saying that you are thinking about sailing towards different, okay? You're thinking about what you lack, that you will most definitely need in order to sail towards the new. For a lot of you, I feel it's financial. And so, yeah, you'll be focusing on your money a lot throughout the week. And I don't think it came up in this attempt, where a lot of you are so focused on finances and things that revolve and connect to money, that Spirit needs you to remember there's so much more to life. You're adding a heaviness to your financial sector of life. So just take a deep breath and focus on other things a bit more throughout the week. How about self-care? All right, I feel like that's going to benefit you greatly. obviously, but I just kind of feel like that gets you out of your head for a bit. It takes you into this healthier state, which just trickles outward. You know what I mean? It's leaving the other aspects of your existence, your reality, feeling improved, or like they're improving. Anyways, but I do want to say as well, you are somebody that feels energy very easily, at times very heavily. So if you're, say, chillaxing at home or trying to get work done at home, the energy just shifts towards heaviness, uneasiness. Again, it's one of those moments where you don't sit in that discomfort, that heaviness. You up and migrate, say you have the time and space to do so. There's something about your chest space becoming quite tight in certain moments. It's almost like you stop breathing for a hot second, or it just becomes harder to breathe. It's a spirit coming through to affect you negatively, but the spirit that comes through directly after the fact to help you in another way, it outweighs that negative. You can almost forget it so quickly because it's so rewarding when it comes to whatever follows with a different spirit. Wow, that was very, very specific. I'm hearing, as you can see, all of the kind of crunchy leaves, around the cards on the grass here. I'm hearing, let the leaves fall where they may. Let the leaves fall where they may, Leo, because I feel like you want to have your hands on too much at this time. You're wanting to feel control where you're lacking it, and you're wanting to kind of adjust things more to your favor. Say it's noisy, for example. You want to control every factor that is adjusting the quietness towards noisiness, or keeping things noisy, but it's just not going to be within your control. What are you going to do? Create frustration for yourself while trying to control it, or because you're focusing upon what you can't control? No. You then realign your focus to what you can control, and this. It's just easier to forget than to remember in the moment. But I want to say as well, towards the end of the week, and even when you're wrapped up with the right energy, there's a bit of a twinkle in your eye. I don't know if that's the best wording. It's more of like a sparkle in your Leo eye. I was getting that from here. And so that may as well highlight the type of energies that you need with you more moving forward and in general. But also I just feel like it's speaking upon the energy shift that's going to happen over the weekend. Again, the end part of this week. It's like the energy just changes. But with a week where you are being told that things are going to feel a bit heavy, even when it comes to your energy, you need to work on that, is what I'm hearing. That sounds obvious, but it's just a time for you where, again, you need to remember where your control lies and create lightness, okay? Shift things towards that state of feeling, being, experiencing, and accomplishing. But yeah, the Three of Wands over here, because I just feel like you want to hop in a ship of some sort, whatever mode of transportation it will end up being. Some of you, I'm hearing, you want to, be picked up by the aliens and, in their spaceship and just, float away to something different. And they're saying, we get it. Life does throw you through the ringer at times. But I want you to remember that things are improving. I want you to remember that you are where you are for so many important reasons. And if you're thinking about throwing something you've been committed to out the window in the near future, I want you to think about it at a later date in a different light. Because I'm not saying that you're going to change your mind and then want to stick with what's at hand. But there's something about this Leo collective not being in the right mindset to most productively think about future changes, okay? Future choices of importance. And so I would say it's a week where, again, you need to look inward, focus upon how you can better your energy, your state of being. How are you going to make the best out of what's at hand? That should come to you quite easily. And if it doesn't, then the solution isn't right there for you, okay? It's not the moment maybe for it to be coming up. But I feel like either way, Leo, you are within a time period where you're going to be rewarded but I don't feel you being in this ultimate state of gratification and gratitude that you normally are in quite easily. And so little moments that Spirit tries to create for you where you're more appreciative or you appreciate something specific. You might find positive affirmations are popping up throughout the week. And I really find that this is Spirit saying, be appreciative, my Leos. You're normally really good at this. It's just the energy and the circumstances at hand. You just need to take a deep breath and remember that one person should not have to deal with all that you deal with. And again, this 10 of Wands talking about the heavy energy, but it's just a week. Also keep that in mind. It is just a week and things will shift, things will change. And whatever you're thinking about for the future as far as development and switch ups go, or one in particular, it's just not the week for you to be solidifying and overly focusing upon that. But the 8 of Cups at the top says, either way, now and moving forward, a Leo's got to do what Leo's got to do when it comes to doing what's right for you. And so there's just, it's a week where Spirit's saying once again, try to shake it off, take a deep breath. Things are improving and falling into place, but it may simply not feel like it 24/7 this week. You've got it going on, Leo. Again, it's just a week, all right? I'll see you in your next read.